In this video tutorial, I want to give you a technique so then you can use an RVT file as a library actually in your project. So suppose that you have completed your projects. Let me open a new project template file, and afterwards I want to extract some information from this file and then transfer it to other projects to use them there. Let me tile these two windows. This is the new project and the completed project. So if you have used some specific elements, for instance a specific type, or the finishings, walls, windows, floor finishings, or the ceilings, walls, as you can see that we can firstly select them, Control C, copy to clipboard. Afterwards we get back to our new project from Modify tab, and then we paste them there. Afterwards these types of elements will be imported here, so then we can use them, finish to save the changes, and note that if we have any selected elements, we can select them and then change the types, or we can delete the imported elements and then we select the wall. Afterwards you'll see that the new type is accessible in the type selector, that you can start your modeling by this way. For instance, for the finishing walls, like this way. So this is a great and practical method for making some copies or select some elements and transfer them to your other projects actually. And in our next method, or in the next type, if we have used some special system families, firstly we open the current project. Note that the completed project should be open. Afterwards, transfer project standards. Then you can select all of them, or you can select them, customize the things that you want to transfer them, fill patterns, materials, floor types, wall types. I mean, all of the system families here can be transferred to your open project. Watch this, override. Then you'll see that all of the system families of floor types, materials, fill regions, fill patterns, or whatever you have selected is transferred. In our architectural floor, watch this, we got all of the entire types that we have used them in this project as well. Or also I can open the completed project here in schedule table, collapse all, and then schedule quantities. Afterwards in walls, I right click and then copy to clipboard. We select it. Afterwards we open the current project and then we right click on a schedule, Control V. Watch this. Right now we got the schedule table that you can make a copy out of it, or from insert tab, insert view from file, or if you want to import some 2D detailings, for instance a section view, let me do this in the plan view, insert 2D elements from view, I select the RVT file and then I import it. So we got these two methods. And we can combine these two methods to use an RVT file as a library in our project, and this is very valuable, but you need to complete one of your projects at least so you can use the elements there. Let's go on to finish this season. That in the loadable families, as you remember, we talked about them before. Loadable families are the families that they are created in separated template files, and then we load them into the project to use them. And the system families, they do exist in the projects already, but here we do not have walls, floors, and so on. I want to tell you a technique to convert the system families to loadable families, and this is very valuable and professional in this field, and it's helpful in some of the cases. As you remember, for some of the parts that we added doors and windows like openings in these parts, As you remember, we could have considered the finished walls as a loadable family and then save them and then import them. But it was a generic model, not a wall category. But in this video, in this grade, I want to tell you a technique to convert the system families to loadable families. Firstly, we open a model in place wall. Afterwards, I draw a box here, like this way. The shape does not matter for us. And then I select it. I group them. For instance, I assign the name of the wall group wall finishing 1. Great. And in this view, save as loop library group. Then I specify the file location, same as group name. Then I click on finish. Then I close it. Right now, watch this. It was wall and then we exported as family. And right now if I open family, then I open the same file location that we just saved open. Check it out. We got a wall family. The category is wall. And this is great. If I delete this afterwards, I can model whatever I want. I can edit the file and create the customized family. However, I wanted to create a finishing here, but right now we have converted the system family to a loadable family that we can model our customized wall here, and then we import it into the project. L wall for the length of the wall instance, and the another one L wrap instance for the parameter, and these two dimensions create new parameter. I name it finishing 01 instance and OK, and these two I can name this finishing 5 constants, no related to the finishing layers, finishing 4 of the wall table, and then 50, 50, 30, and 20. OK, and afterwards we select extrusion. Then based on our needs, we move on. Check it out. I complete it. And by this way, we have converted a system family to a loadable family like this way. Let me create a parameter for its height like this way, and then we assign the material m underscore finishing for or the substrate layer, and then for the finish layer finishing 5. However, we can add the parameters, add the number of your layers of the walls. I save the file as wall and then I load it. Watch this, the category is wall like this way, and this is wonderful. And then the continuation, then for the concrete I wanna send it the concrete for the material. Let me see, let me check concrete. I select this and then I open its family environment. Since I have set it to type that I want to set it to instance, load and override, then we select, I specify the material, And for the finishing 5, let's see. Great. I copy its material and then I assign it for finishing 5, like this way. Let me see. I open the 3D view. Again, I get back to the plan view. Then I pick a line to position it at an accurate place using move. Then let me check the thickness 20 and 30. However, 30 and 20. Let me move the finishing downwards, and right now the orientation is okay. Let me move this and finish 4. I assign this to finishing 5, and then I want to assign the concrete layer for finishing 4. Better 30 and 20 for the thicknesses, then I can move it and I position it there. And as you can see, we can join these two walls, or we can just trim one of them, and also we can extend one of them. We talked about the grips. I select all of them, reference planes, then I set them to not a reference. Only I can set the longitudinal references as a strong reference, so they allow us to extend and modify the length like this way. And for the height, as you can see, 4 meters and they are joined, as you can see, because we have modified the height, and this is gonna be scheduled in the schedule table. Let me check the height of the door. I copy it, and then I want to assign it for the finishing layer. Check it out like this way. Great. And this is related to the frame of the door. Then I can open it. I delete these two. Then we get back to the project, override, in order to remove the intersection here. And here, as you can see, I should cut this wall in order to show you the finishing layers. So if I put them into a section box, then you'll see the details. Watch this, like this way. So this was our technique that you're gonna use them in your projects.